in the classroom. How's everyone going in Wagga? Miller, Frank, how you guys going? Tarek, why are you putting your thumbs down, mate?
All good.
Because of the rain.
Oh, the rain. We
All
need the
good
rain,
here,
mate.
Brad.
Thank you. Good to see us. Frankie there. Pete, is Nara, Team Nara there? Team Nara. No, not yet. Is Pete there? Is anyone in Nara there? Any Nara students?
Yeah,
Jump
mate.
in. Oh, there you are.
You should.
Hey, Pete, how you guys going?
Yeah, not
If we
bad.
could, it'd be good to have the campuses have their webcam up, if you can, just so we can see everyone.
Right, mate. We've got I'm appearing on the corner of my screen here, so my cam's definitely.
Oh, there you are. I can see you.
All right.
Hey, mate. He's going.
All good.
I'm going to try and get down in there in a couple of weeks as well. Anyway, all right, we're going to get started. A couple of things. Are you getting your messages from Moodle? Are you getting them on your phone? All right, who was it? Was it Anthony? You sent me a message over the weekend. On Moodle, the only thing is we want to start encouraging Microsoft Teams. We've nearly got everyone in. I'm going to probably try and enforce it when we start finances next week. I want to message through Teams, and the reason why is because, like, Anthony sent a message on the weekend, and I got back to him straight away through Teams. Moodle is really, really old and clunky software, so I have to click on it. Then I have to go into the website. Then I have to log in, and I actually don't do it. So I don't respond to a question until the Monday. So, you know, if I've got my Microsoft Teams message sent to me, I can probably just about answer it straight away, and it doesn't take me long, so I don't mind doing it. Yeah, check with your teachers if they're going to be doing it. Don't expect it on a Saturday, Sunday, but I'm okay to do it. If I'm doing something, obviously, please don't send me a message at 1 o'clock on a Saturday morning if you're all having a party or something, okay? But I'll probably get to you within 24 hours, definitely. So I'm really encouraging, I'm not enforcing it, I'm really encouraging everyone to send messages through Teams. And if I'll just put this up on the screen, you can actually send a message, and I just hope, I don't know if Sharon's there, in the team group, see where it says general, if you send messages in here, everyone will get it. And if you do so for example, Aaron, what's your last name? What's your last name? Hey. Oh, it's Jacob. Sorry. Where did I get Aaron from? Sorry. Is it at? See, it comes up. So, and then that message will alert Jacob, not Aaron. Jacob with a J. Okay? So it's actually better software. That's why we're really promoting it. Like, we're one of the prototype groups. But for messaging, if you go in that general group, everyone will see it. If you tag someone in it, they'll get it notified, if that makes sense. Now, if you want to put some information up for everyone to see, you can put it in that general group, yeah? Obviously, we have the meeting room, and we've just kept it as the one classroom because it was a little bit confusing the other week. So this is where our classroom is going to be the rest of the year. Alrighty? Just keep it nice and simple. Now, if you want to message someone, you can just click on their name, I think it is. Or you can go to chat or up the top there and just send a message to whoever you want to. All right? Is that all right, boys and girls? Everyone all right with that? I hope that was right. Excellent. All right, I'm going to get training plans. Pete, the Nara guys, because I know you're doing it back-to-back, so I've got Glenn's marked, and I think they're all done, Gleno? Yeah, mate. Glenn's done all the Nara ones for you. Yeah, and they're pretty good, yeah? There's a couple of resubmits, so can Nara guys just go and have a look in your orientation site. So because Pete's on class, well, I've got Glenn to do it for him. So you guys just go in and check, and if there's any dramas, we'll fix that. Yeah, mate, you're doing a double class, so that's all right. Alrighty, so that's for Nara. I'm pretty sure Wagga's done. I think I've got a couple in Wollongong still doing. We've still got a few guys coming in. Like, we've got some students coming in. They're going to start next week with finances. So we'll have them finished by the end of the week. Frank and Griffith students or people enrolled in Griffith, check with Frank. And any of the others, Maria and all those, I'm doing them ones myself, but there's only a small handful. All right? Excellent. Orientation. Can you see, wrong one, Cert 4? We encourage 90% of activities to be done. Now, for this instance, it's going to be less because some of them, they might be expecting you to have a Wagga evacuation procedure map downloaded, but you don't need to because you're in Wollongong. So try and get about 80% for these activities to be complete. The main thing is all the compliance stuff. I'll go back. That is acknowledge receipt of the course, doing your emergency contact details, and mainly your training plan. Yeah, acknowledge receipt of the course assessment guide, because some people have yet to do it. Acknowledge course outline and information. Is that okay? And then you can probably see, like when we finish safety this week, I'll put up the next one. So the next one's obviously going to be finances. All right. Is that okay, boys and girls? All right. WHS, I've actually, everyone's starting to get a good crack on with things. You want to get 90% learning activities complete before you do the test, because that sort of tells us you're ready to do the exam on Thursday night. I'm going to go through top tips again a bit tonight and a bit tomorrow night, and then the test is at 5:30. Alrighty. Those who've been coming to class every night, you don't have an issue. You know what to do. You'll be able to find the information and answer the question accordingly. All right. Sorry, I'm just looking. I noticed Adrian brought this up. There's a world record. We're going to send a message to this student. He finished a quiz in 1 minute. Now, we know this happens. And what usually happens is some students will get the questions and take photos and send them to a mate, which you might as well just do the bloody quiz, eh? Or sometimes just go through and just click everything and then they get another attempt. Now, the thing is, we don't change this format because we know students do it, but it's a learning activity. So when you go do the assessment, you're not going to be able to go back. Yeah. So the reason why we do all these quizzes is so that you learn and understand it. Does that make sense? So just, I'm not pointing anyone out, but just be mindful. Those that are doing the quizzes really quickly and just clicking the boxes, they go to do the assessment, they're going to be going, huh? What? Does that make sense? So you might as well spend a bit of time on it, and then they're actually good little learning activities. Okay. I can't enlarge. Sorry, Pete. If I do that, the pages, see that? So sorry. Yeah, can you see it? It actually shows someone's finished a quiz in 1 minute. All right. Okay, I'm just looking at a couple of questions. Must be at TAFE. Yes, Thursday for the exam. Yeah. Unless anyone's desperate or for certain circumstances. Obviously, students that are an hour drive, just talk to Frank or Adrian. Even like Liam and some Maria students, we don't expect you to come up here. But can you please make sure you talk to your teacher? So you have your enrolment group, you'll be Team Frank or Team Brett. Just tell the teacher, Brett, I'm at Bega, or Brett or Frank, I'm at Hay or Leeton or wherever you are, guys, that obviously you don't need to drive in. Does that make sense? For all you Wollongong blokes, don't say you can't drive in because you live at Fig Tree or something. All right? Thanks for your patience on Thursday night. Stuart did his first delivery, and it's a pretty hard way to teach because of all this technology. So sorry, we didn't quite get the technology sorted, so we'll make sure that that's not going to happen again for Thursday night. It was a bit of a hard night, to be honest, but he did a great job considering it's the first time he's done it too. So, but thanks for your patience, everyone. You just sort of just got on with it, which is excellent to see. There's no real moaning. Alrighty, and that's it. We got. I'll start the lesson. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just talk about the other nights. If I scroll down, there was two that I wanted to talk about. The inspection reporting. Did everyone answer that okay? I'll just scroll down. I've got 70 submissions, and then Frank and Adrian have quickly been looking. See, is there anyone, I want to just put up one example. Is there someone that they can give me theirs that I can put up? that they think they've done a reasonably good job? Anyone? For the inspection reporting. So this is on last Tuesday. I didn't go through it because obviously Stuart was delivering. Anyone? I'm going to have to pick someone. Sorry. Okay, just one moment. All right. Actually, Luke, I'm going to put yours up, mate, because yours is a good one. I think Adrian's already, or Frank's already gone through it and just had a look. Inspection reporting. You made up his own nice little, not a spreadsheet, table. Some items that he's identified, some temporary fencing across the footpath. The truck, no sediment barriers, multiple bins, no clear signs notifying the public, and temporary fencing open. I'll just pick one. The truck, the hazard for pedestrians and traffic, and his control measures show signage that I'll just increase the size of this, that they're in a construction site ahead and that part of the road is obscured by the truck. So that's a pretty good answer. Luke, is it Luke, sorry? Yeah, so good effort, Luke. Does it help if we go through these every now and then? Yeah? All right, I'll go through the site safety meeting class activity as well. Remember this one? Site manager, you have noticed safety breaches made by the bricklayers. You have decided to call a safety meeting with yourself, your rep, and the brickies involved. Record the meeting and submit. Have you submitted yours, Paul? Can I put yours up? I just saw Paul's here before and he did a pretty good one, so I'm going to put his up as an example. Meeting agenda, site address, item. I'll pick one. Working at height. Type of action, accredited personnel complying with the WHS requirements. All personnel working at heights to supply competency documentation be logged in within site induction records. Responsible action person by the site manager. Okay. I'm just scrolling down, and he's also noted this in his site diary for evidence, which is really good. Discussion regarding bricklaying practices on site, meeting commencement at 9:30. Okay, signed off. That's good, Paul. That's really good. Does that help, boys and girls? Yeah? Okay, excellent. Are there any activities you'd like me to go through from last week? I'm going to talk about that. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that. Are there any? They're just simple formatted quizzes. I think I'm going to leave them for the moment. And Jacob's getting a bit anxious. He wants to talk about the test, so I think we'll do that one, eh? Unless you want me to go back on anything, just let me know. All right. Let's start the lesson, eh? So we've gone through training plans, progress bar last week and this week with their assessment. I'm going to open up an activity for you. It's just to confirm your location. Oh. Can you select the most appropriate location for you to complete your knowledge assessment? That's on Thursday. I'm just going to see if I can increase the size of this. Hey, Pete, can you just let us know if that's better? I just noticed I was watching when Stuart was teaching. It was quite hard to see. Yeah, is that better, guys? All right, I'm going to try and do that all the time. So obviously, whatever campus you're at, and then can you see the last one? I have consulted with my teacher and he is allowing me to complete the assessment online. Guys like Jade, Anna Maria and Mitch, can you guys just send me a message? Let me know what you're doing. We need you to do them in separate locations. I can't have you sitting together. I want you to do it on your own. Okay, and I'll talk to you about that individually. Frank and Adrian will sort out their students, and you guys that are out further away, I'll let you guys sort that out yourselves. Is that better, Pete? I think it is, eh? On the screen. All right, I've gone a bit mental with choice activities tonight. I just want to ask, I want to see how you're going. How are you doing with this is with your skills, your portfolio that's got to be done by the end of the week. I actually saw Alex's video. It's fantastic, mate. He's done a video on his site, safety reporting. It's excellent. So my question to you is, how are you going with your assessment? One option is you finished your management plan and inspection report. I'm ready for the knowledge assessment. I've already had a look at what is required. I finished my WHS plan. I'm ready for the assessment. I've already had a look at what is required. That's a double up. Sorry, guys. Not too bad. Have a little bit to finish, but I'm coping okay. Haven't started, but we'll be okay. And the fast one, if this comes up, we're going to have a chat here. I'm really struggling with like some support. Let us know, yeah? Now, you don't have to, if you do, click on the box down here. Just talk to your assessor too, like your guy that's helping you out. Obviously, Griffith, talk to Frank and so forth. And we'll look at those later. All right, I put this link up here for those guys doing the assessments, and a lot of them might have been struggling, but you can actually, I think I have mentioned this before, but you can see below these links here, these are the actual documents on their own, so it's been broken down from the full download. Does that make sense? Paul, I don't know if that might help you for that document you were talking about. So for example, you could just download the site-specific risk assessment. Yeah? Keep this, like this is safe work. This is here all the time. I'll scroll down. This is the one that I know I used to use a lot. We used to get like 30 printouts of the toolbox talk, and when we had a chat, we used to write down what we're talking about, sign it off, and filed it away. Okay? So, if you've got a tablet and you're using a tablet on site, you'll be able to just use those same documents, but you can just download. If you got access to the web, you'll be laughing. Okay? So I just thought I'd put that up there for you if need be. All right? All right. Tonight we're going to go through incident and injury reporting. We're going to go through, I'm going to talk about the assessments, and we're going to finish it off with return to work programs, okay? I just thought I'd put this up here. Is there any topics with regard to safety that you might want to discuss and go through for tomorrow night? The reason why I'm saying that is sometimes we do a subject and they go, oh, I wish you spoke about that. I wish you did this. Like, as much we have to cover a training plan, but sometimes, we can still jump in and just talk about something. So if there's anything you can think of, just tell us in the chat box or message us later on. Any thoughts? No? Obviously, construction and safety is what we're talking about. Not about what you did on Friday night. All right, so let's review your WHS management plan. Let's discuss pages 11, 12, and 13. I have actually touched on this, but I'm going to go back to it again. And just tell me, Pete. I'm going to try and make it a bit easier to see. So, pages 11. Is everyone okay with safe work method statements need to be recorded for what type of work? Does everyone know what it is? What type of work? Maybe tell us in the chat box, or you guys tell me here at Wollongong. When do you have to write a safe work method statement? High risk work. What's the definition of high risk work in construction? Give me one example. Working at heights, yeah. So that's falls over 2 meters is in the legislation, I think. Confined spaces. Sorry. Hot works, asbestos. Okay. Plant, Electrical, all right, you're all over it. Okay, excellent. Okay, training. So you're the construction project manager or you're the site manager. You have a general instruction, or just tell me, Pete, if that's all right, mate. If that's bigger. Oh, that might be just too big. You'll need to have the white card. Everyone knows about that. I think all of you have got it. If you don't, I'm going to be a bit concerned. And what else? What other sort of training do you need when you come on a site? We did it last week. Site induction, yeah? Site specific, so specific about the site. Now, if you're on a big commercial job, it could be half a day, it could be a full day. If you're a medium size, it's probably going to be like half an hour to an hour. Residential, they very rarely do it, but they should probably get in the habit of starting to do it where it's a 5-minute induction, like, right, emergency evacuation points there, there's the toilet, there's the power, don't be a knobby, off you go. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to get in a good habit of that. Okay, I'm going to just scroll down. Plant and equipment, we're having a register for that. We've got a register for electrical. We've gone through that, so I'm not going to discuss it again. Hazardous chemicals, you have to put, I'd say form number 9, we've gone through that as well. How many, Jacob? 6 items you have to put in, we'll go through it later. Hazard reporting. And tonight we're going to go through incident and injury recording, okay? Alrighty. I'm going to have a few activities tonight. I'm probably going to talk for about one more hour, I reckon. I've got a really, really good one. I like this one. I keep banging on about that 4-letter word. What's that 4-letter word? Plan. Plan, not swims. Well, the swims is right, but plan. I keep banging on about it all year. If you don't plan, you're going to muck the job up. Now, I want you to have a look at this forum, yeah? Oh, that's a good one, Alex. I want you to refresh. What's wrong with this picture? I can't even remember where I got this. I don't know. Now, I want you to think about that 4-letter word, yeah? What are the safety issues on site? Now, sometimes you'll get old culture going, safety wastes time. It doesn't improve productivity. It's wrong. Could you plan this better with increased productivity and safer methods? Now, this is where I'm trying to intertwine your safety with your planning. If you're the builder or just maybe the carpentry subcontractor, if you plan that better, if you had some sort of scaffold system set up, do you think you'd get it done quicker and safer? 100%, heaps. Could you imagine a proper little scaffold system? How many times do you have to go up those A-frames? Up, then down, up, then down, up, then down. Yeah? And your risk of hurting yourself is increased as well. Right? And you probably, look at all the stuff there. Look at it in the picture. There's bloody, what's that? Is that a vacuum cleaner or is it a saw? I can't even know what it is. But there's just trip hazards everywhere. If you had a nice scaffold system set up, you'd be able to just get one guy up top, the other guy cutting, set up a bay, wouldn't you? You obviously, say your cutting bay would have to be over here, so you're not using a circular saw right near the water's edge. Yeah? You might not be able to get rid of the water, and you might not be able to cover it with some sort of decking. Possibly you might be able to cover something across here, but that's going to start getting a bit of a cost and you might not win the job. If you had a scaffold system here and you write up a work method statement, so this is how we're going to do it, boys, you would get it done better and quicker and safer. I'm convinced by it. Just get a scissor lift, right? Okay. All right. Can you please answer that? Right. I'll let you answer that in your own time. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you an activity to fill out like I'll call it a swims. You could call it a risk assessment for the whole job, but I'll get you to fill out a swims and it's like you're planning that job. So how are you going to do it? And I'll put mine up tomorrow night and compare. And that is helping you plan as a builder, getting things ready. Yeah? All right. Are you all right doing that whilst I'm talking through tonight? Are you okay with me continuing? Because you're going to do a swims for that tonight. And Brad, hopefully you don't get a scissor lift. All right, I'm going to move on then. All right, we sort of touched on this last week. I'm just sort of intertwining this topic, emergency procedures, with incident response and then return to work, so it sort of flows. And what I'm doing, I'm sort of changing a couple of things so I don't scroll all the time. If you see this page here, I've just sort of highlighted the things that I think are important. So you as a PCBU, look at the top. PCBUs must ensure that an emergency plan is prepared for the workplace. So this is from Safe Work, this is from legislation for a construction project. Yeah? An emergency plan, well, what is it? It's a written set of instructions that outlines what workers and others at the workplace should do in an emergency. It should include, you see my little nice little highlighted box, a response to an emergency, evacuation procedures, notifying emergency service organisations at the earliest opportunity. Sorry, I can't highlight that section, guys. Medical treatment and assistance, effective communication, testing of the emergency procedures, and information training and instruction. So once you sort of get it set up, you'll be able to do it for all your jobs, and you'll start doing it really quick. Yeah, a lot of the stuff, your forms will be, you know, if you're working in Wollongong or you're working in Nowra or Wagga, you know, it's going to be the same hospital. The numbers are going to be the same. The medical centre possibly will be the same. But those things, you'll have that in your files, and you just keep updating it for every job. So what's the types of emergencies to plan for? Has anyone ever thought of this? Fire, explosion, a medical emergency, rescues, incidents with hazardous chemicals, bomb threats, armed confrontations, and natural disasters. You see that bottom there? So that's what we're planning them for. To be honest, has anyone had to leave? Has anyone had to leave, like, not just a what do they call it? A fake, like a drill, like a practice drill. Has anyone actually had to leave due to a fire or some sort of emergency or a rescue? I don't think I ever have. Possibly bomb threats, no. Natural disasters, no, I haven't. So it's highly unlikely, but hopefully it doesn't happen. What happened? A foreman got shot. Where at? Oh, in Las Vegas. Right, those online. Jason is American. I was working in Vegas. That would have been great working there. But the foreman got shot on site. There you go. Did you have a good emergency evacuation plan? No, everyone just. Yeah, usually emergency evacuation, when they've got all these rules, but usually just always goes out. Everyone just runs. They didn't shut. You kept working, did you? Would they have a silencer as a gun or something? And no one heard it. You can hear it. Wow. Do they have emergency evacuation plans in the States? They must have WHS management plans. Right. Okay, that's a style. Yeah, right. Okay, that's interesting. All right, I'll move on. So if you're going to work in Vegas, you might get shot as a foreman. So be careful. Some examples, just on the right-hand side, I'm reading. Examples of inclusions in an emergency plan. Your contact details for your local emergency services, description of the mechanisms for alerting people, for example, a siren or a bell or an alarm of some sort. And then finally, evacuation procedures, including arrangements for assisting any hearing or vision or mobility impaired people. All right. Here is the link to the emergency plan safe work document. It's 20 pages. I'm not going to go through it, but I just wanted to go through that sheet there so you understand it. Okay. Any questions? All right. I'm moving on to the next topic, incident response. Actually, I probably should highlight that all the time, shouldn't I, really? Whenever you have to do something with regards to safety, it's really have you referred to your management plan. I think I would have said it the other week. That's what the safe work guy is going to do. They'll come straight on your site and he'll go, "Can I see your management plan?" He'll say it. That'll be the first thing, right? And then he'll see something happening on site, and he'll go, "You just said you're going to have scaffold, and those guys are using a ladder. Why?" That's what they'll say. Like, you're not working as per the management plan. That's what'll happen. Okay. All right. What do you do? What do you understand of incident response? Does anyone put a comment in the chat box? Anyone talk? Jump in. What do you understand of incident response? You can jump in, anyone, if you want. Anyone? Bueller? Oh, Jacob. Oh, I got a couple of answers. There we go. Thanks, boys. All incidents need to be reported to the supervisor and logged. How to respond to an incident. All right. It's pretty quiet. Is that a bit bigger, Pete? That's as good as I can get for pages. Ensure that all incidents and injuries are reported to the supervisor and recorded on the incident and injury report form. WHS Form 10. See where we're going with this? It's another part of your assessment you can complete. Obviously, you're going to do like a phantom one. Okay. Actually, last few years when we mark them, they're all pretty good. Someone's got a leg off, shot. Or you can do the someone got shot. I don't know. As long as you fill the form out and have an understanding for it. Record all incidents in the incident and injury report and provide a copy to the principal contractor upon request. Notify the authorities if an incident or injury results in a person being killed or if it's a serious incident. Authorities also require that the place of work is not to be disturbed except by actions relating to emergency rescue. I've looked everywhere, right? And I don't know if Adrian or Frank or Pete could answer, what's the actual definition of a serious incident? I actually couldn't find it. I've been looking for it today, and I thought I could find it in the legislation, but I couldn't. So what's the actual definition? I'm assuming, like, you know, when someone's seriously hurt, you know, if someone's got a pencil cut, I wouldn't say that's a serious incident. Or someone's, sorry? Potential, yeah, like a near miss. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point. Like a near miss for someone that could have fallen and died. If someone swears at each other, it might just be an argument. I wouldn't be really saying that's a serious incident. But if there's like a fist fight or some physical altercation, I would be saying that's a serious incident. If there is a serious accident where someone has to go to hospital, I'd say that's a serious incident or injury. I've just got a couple of answers in here. Oh, here you go. I think I might have that link up next, but yeah, had a bloke on site next to us, had a heart attack due to electrical sap. I'd say that's serious. Yeah, I agree. I'll just quickly look. I'm not sure if I've already put that link up. Yeah, I think that's the one I've got up. Okay, brilliant. A couple of good answers. Jacob's on fire tonight. The dangerous incidents includes both serious risks to health or safety. Okay, very good. What I want you to do is refer to the incident and injury, your incident and injury report form. What is your definition of a serious injury? Is it there? Where can you find this information? Is it in the regs, acts, or the codes? I'm not going to look at it now. I'm going to let you guys do that over the night, as we've had a bit of a discussion. So I'm going to continue. Is that all right, boys and girls? That's an activity I'm going to get you to actually do. That's okay, Pete. All right. incident notification. Is that big enough, Pete? No, I think I've got to do it 150. Okay, those online, Adrian's just got the list of potential injuries or illnesses that qualify as serious, is lengthy, but a rule of thumb is any injury or condition that requires immediate professional medical treatment. That's a pretty good answer. What do you think, boys and girls? All right, if there is a serious injury or illness, a death, or a dangerous incident, you must report it to the authorities. 13.10.50. You must also provide first aid and make sure the worker gets the right care. You must take care not to disturb the incident until inspected. You need to record it, register it, and notify your insurer within 48 hours. Did you know that? That's actually a requirement. That's what you got to do. You can't just leave it for a couple of weeks and say, oh, I've got to do a concrete pour. I'll do that later. You know what I mean? A notifiable incident under the legislation relates to the death of the person, a serious injury or illness, a potential dangerous incident. There's an example of a fact incident notification fact sheet, which I'll let you download that yourselves. You can keep that, put that in your little safety folder. Okay, goes into pretty much what we've just discussed. We're going pretty good for time, everyone. We've got last topic in a moment. And there's the link for the incident reporting as well. I don't need to talk about that, do I? No. All right, any questions with that? Is everyone happy? Saying you guys happy out here? These are all happy? Yeah? Just wandering around. All right. I got one more topic. I reckon I'm 20 minutes on this one, and then we're going to hand over all the activities. So you've got your emergency evacuation. There's been a serious incident. Someone's been injured for a long time. You want to try and get this employee back to work. This is actually part of your WHS management plan. I'll bring it up in a moment. I want you to have a look at this. There's a couple of really good videos which really make you think about safety on your job. And the biggest thing that I've noticed, like I'll keep banging on about planning, but also the culture. You have a really good safety culture. It's just the normal way they behave on site. Okay. You can download from State Insurance Regulatory Authority. It's a recover at work planning tool. I'll just go through the headings because we're going to go through a few really good videos. You got to understand what your worker can do. Like obviously if he's got a leg cut off or if he's in a wheelchair, like obviously some duties he can't perform. Yeah, it's common sense. You need to identify suitable work duties. Consider same job, different hours, modified duties, a possible different job altogether. We had a student, he was actually a really good student. Glenno, do you remember? Ben? And he was an electrician, but he had an accident, so he had to work in the office and he did estimating. He couldn't do physical duties on site as much. At the same or different workplace, sorry, I'll just increase the size of that, guys. Or a combination of both. I won't read through the whole lot. You have to develop a plan so you can use the, well, there's usually always tools for everything, you know. When you've got to do anything as part of legislation, the government's usually got stuff set out you can just follow. Develop a plan and then pretty much you need to implement it. All right. I got two really good videos on this. So what I'm going to do is I'll just open up and come back and I'm going to open up both of them. So can you refresh now, guys? And what I'm going to do is we'll come back. I think this one goes for 2 minutes. Yeah, this is a quick one. So we'll come back for 2 minutes and we'll have a bit of a chat. if you refreshed everyone, I'll put the next one up and then we'll have a bit of a discussion about it, okay? So I'll do the next one straight away. So click on this link here and I'll come back. This one goes for 10 minutes, yeah? All right, so I'll see you all back in 10 minutes. All right, boys. Tarek, can we move on? All right, boys and girls. I'm going to move on. We've got a little bit to go, another 5-10 minutes, and we're finished. I'll hand over for activities. Any reflection on that, on the video? It's pretty good sometimes. Like, I just mentioned to the guys here at Wollongong, you go a bit blasé. You get a bit blasé with safety, and then you stop and you watch something like that, and you go, it's really not worth not being safe, is it? How are you all going with your goggles? You all go? You wear goggles today? Did ya? All day? Yeah, sunnies do count. Tarek's wearing his goggles. What about you, Nara team? You wearing goggles? Frank, Adrian, boys wearing goggles? Yeah, I am going to, Andrew, definitely. Anyway, I hope you will by the end of the year or the end of this cluster. All right, I'm going to move on. Can you all see the screen with regards to, I'm not going to go through the whole lot, the guidelines for workplace return to work programs, but there's the Workplace Injury Management and Workers' Compensation Act. We sort of talk on it briefly on another subject, but this what goes into, obviously, when someone injures themselves so seriously, that's a workers' comp claim, then they'll go into a return to work program as discussed. And it'll be, could you imagine someone with a serious injury, like how they deal with it? Like mentally, it's quite bad. So they'll look at how they're going to try and get this person back to work. What duties they do, I'm unsure, but it also helps with, depression will start coming in and sinking in, because if you've injured yourself badly, your whole way of life changes. So it's pretty horrific, to be honest. That guideline goes into more depth about the return to work program, and you can just see the insurers' responsibilities, employers' responsibilities, pretty much injury management program, and then pretty much return to work program in a nutshell. Okay, I won't read through the whole lot of that, but that's there for you to download and save. And I think there are a couple of questions on it. All right. Last link, and I'm going to open up. I'll have a bit of a chat about the assessments, and then open up all the activities. Return to work programs. There's another link, and that's just from Safe Work New South Wales. So an employer or business or anyone who falls under the definition of a PCBU has legal obligations under the laws. Okay. I'll just read out these 8 dot points. Helping your worker to recover at work may reduce the financial impact on your business and enables you to maintain the skills and knowledge of an experienced worker, reduce the cost of training a replacement worker, demonstrate to all workers that they are valued employees, maintain good employer-employee relationships, reduce the length of time your workers are away from work, avoid the cost of hiring staff, and then you help to comply with legislation. Is that a bit better, guys? You might. Okay. All right, I'm going to open up the assessment and have another chat. I'm going to firstly just talk about, I know I love a good top tip, but I'm going to go to the knowledge assessment top tips if you want to have a look. Sorry, I can't increase the size of it. So really, we've gone through pretty much everything I think we have. No, not on a page on Moodle. There you go. Jacob, thank you. It's never worked. There you go. I've just got taught something today. I knew about that, but not for that one. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, is that better, guys? Knowledge assessment top tips. I've gone through it before, but I'm going to do it again. There's going to be 15 questions. Some are going to be like your drop and drag. Some are going to be multiple choice, but a lot of them are going to be actually type in an answer. Okay, because it's this Cert 4, this higher level than clicking a box all the time. You will need to know or prepare yourself for the legislation. So if I'm going to say what legislations used for safety, if you don't answer that, we're going to look at us and go, oh, God, like you really can't pass this cluster. Does that make sense? That's why they're 100%. Well, it's going to be about 85, 90%, give or take, with some bad, if the questions are a little bit hard for wording or you don't quite understand it. You have to have an understanding for the WHS management plan. So make sure you understand what a construction project is, how much the value of the job is before you have to have a management plan, and what's in your management plan. So you're going to have access to it. So you should be able to answer that right now. Yeah, is that all right, guys? Thank you, Tarek. Yes. Hierarchy of control measures. Do you understand that? There was a video, we went through it last week. Dion, you give me a weird look. You all right? Identify the hazard. Yeah. Eliminate, isolate, substitute. Can you all please, I want you to go in there and start looking at it. I'm having some people giving me some weird looks. I'm getting quite worried, actually. Make sure you go in there and find that out. Watch the video. Hierarchy of control measures. You should know that. Yes, Bradley, all over it. Open book. Can someone help Connor? What does he mean by open book? Thank you, Alex. Well done. Mate, you guys are all over it. Open book. What do we mean by open book? Yes. It's open book. So that means you can search if you find the answer. That's why you pretty much got to get 100%. Workplace guides and standards. So we want you to access this information, understand from the Act to all standards and guides. I'm going to go through that a bit more tomorrow night with a couple of examples. All right. Manage risks in the workplace. There's a 4-step process. Yeah, good point, Tarek. Make sure you don't copy and paste. If it's copy and paste, it's a fail to that question because we want you to start writing things in your own word. I'd rather you do 2 sentences than copy a whole bloody paragraph. Does that make sense? Because we know that you understand it. How to implement control measures. So how do you implement a control measure to ensure people's safety? What are you going to do? Occupation. Specify hazard and the risk. Those two, this one and this one, I'm going to go through tomorrow night in more depth, okay? Educational programs, how you implement and use them with staff. That is in your management plan. I know that, sorry, that's another thing that I'm going to go through tomorrow night. Construction project, I think you understand the definition of it. Have an understanding for HSR reps and committee and members. We did that on Thursday and Tuesday. Understanding the difference between a hazard and a risk. Documentation required to be prepared before work commences. Identify a hazard and note expertise or licensing to perform tasks safely. We'll touch on that on again tomorrow night. And auditing, how do you show implementation of safety to Safe Work New South Wales? It's pretty much showing your management plan, pretty much, yeah. Showing all the evidence of it. Like if you've got a management plan that's been sitting on the shelf and you haven't filled anything out through the whole job, that's not really showing how you implement it, is it? Because you haven't. All right. I'm going to open up the skills assessment. So this is due on Sunday. I think a lot of students have been completing some stuff. We saw a video from Alex, which is excellent. So, Glenn, you've been going through and having a look, have you, already? I think Adrian was as well. You can see in its briefest, you have to complete the site safety pack. Can you see the forms that you got to do? So we did that the first night. Is that correct? Is everyone all right with that? We did that on the second night, third night, was it the fourth night? And then these 3 forms here were all sort of intertwined last week. Now what I might do is I just want to go back, the employee training register. So you got to put down at least three entries. So can someone give me an example of a training course that you might have got your staff to do? First aid, excellent. HSR rep, yep. HSR, yeah. What? Sorry, working at heights, yeah. Asbestos, yep. So it's you like improving your staff's training so they're becoming better on site. But they're excellent answers. Sorry, did you say another one? White card. EWP. Okay. Nice work. So can you see here 6 entries for the electrical test and tag? So put down 6 tools. That's something you need to do on site. I want you to do it. Obviously, it's like a fantasy thing, but you're filling it out as if it's your job. Just do all your carpentry tools for most of you. Right. I've got here, can you see the hazardous chemical register? I've written allow 6 entries. So put 6 entries of a hazardous chemical that's on site and put the link to the SDS. That's the best way to do it. Yeah. All right. I'm guessing most of you have just about finished that. That's what I'm thinking. If you've been following us every night, I reckon you're pretty much all over that. Then we got task 2. So one's the video of an inspection on site, and 2 is a quick report on it, which I said about half a page. Yeah. Do you really want me to go through it all again? No, he's okay, unless you want me. Yeah, is it a yes? Tariq wants time out from the basketball game. Do you want me to go through it, Pete? Adrian, Frank, you want me to go through it? Nah, yeah, I think everyone's all right. Yeah, it's open book. You got access to whatever you want. Yeah, you should kill it. On form SDS on form 9. Form 9 is a hazardous chemical register. So yes. So what I want you to do is you're going to write down. You're going to open it up. You're going to write down. Sorry for scrolling. I'll just increase the size of this. Product name. Product labeled, yes. SDS available, yes. And put the link in there. So whatever product you're using. Cement Australia. Whichever one you're using, obviously you got to use the type that you're using. Yep. There it is. See, the main thing is with these hazardous chemicals or the safety data sheets, you're not going to be sure what's happened if someone's hurt himself, and then you go down to mainly the first aid measures, right? If in eyes, I'll increase that, sorry. If in eyes, hold eyelids apart and flush continuously with running water. Continue flushing until advised. Yeah? Do you understand why they got these in it? It's pretty good. Now, if you've got links to that, you just open that link and have a look. Most of you are probably familiar with that's what you do if someone gets cement in their eyes. Like that's just about common sense now, but that's as a good example. Okay, so copy that link. Put it in there. Okay. Yes, Brody, correct. I want you to put the link in like that. So 6 of those. I'm just having a look. Form 6. I'm going back on a couple of items. Document a scenario on site that you have been part of or one that you understand. Discuss how you negotiated conflicting views and how you resolved any conflicts. Yeah. Apologies for those that are just about finished. Anyway, I'm just going to make sure. Identify 4 hazards on site with your site-specific risk assessment. I think we had 1 safe work methods site, a statement. but at least 6 tasks. Like you should probably get about 8 or 9. Yeah. Down on task 2 is the inspection video, 3 minutes. I believe Glenn's looked at it. Someone said that before, but he's been submitted. Some guys have submitted a VLC. MP4 have all worked okay. Usually we have dramas, someone uploads something and we can never see it. The easiest is if you've got a Gmail account, just put it up unlisted and you can just send us the link on a Word document or something. Yeah? Finally, you got to write a report on the area of the risk, inspection, the hazard and the risk identified, control measures and how you've done it. Make sure you put your evidence of relevant parties, like who you consulted, your recommendations for the future. Control measures have been consulted with the person on the workplace and evidence shown. So just say something, you know, we had a bit of a toolbox talk with all the guys. All right, is everyone happy? All righto. Do you just want to watch a funny video before? It's going to be like 3 minutes or something. It's about when you use the camera, you've got to make sure, don't hold the camera like that, hold the camera like that. Yeah? Does everyone understand that? You hold the camera like that, it doesn't work properly. All right. Do you want me to put it up, Pete? All right. Hold on. And I'll send you the link for those campuses at the other places, okay? So give us one tip. And then I'll put them up. All right. It's only 3 minutes and then I'll put all the activities up. Okay, those online, I've just put the link in the chat box and we'll come back in 3 minutes, all right? So you can watch that yourselves and I'll come back 3 minutes. I'll talk about the activities and then that's us for tonight for the learning. Sorry, I blame Pete for encouraging that. I blame you, Pete. All right. Refresh. There is just a few activities to do tonight. The first one, I'm going to get you to write up a quick swims, or it can be a risk assessment. I prefer a swim so you can actually document it properly. To complete the pool cabana, consider that the pool cabana will have 3 walls and a roof, so upload your swims here, and we're going to compare it tomorrow. Okay? So that's where you're going to start thinking about planning as a builder. So you're writing the swims, but you're actually planning your job, which is killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I got a simple forum. What's your workplace culture like? We'll talk about this tomorrow night. I want you to tell us about your experience where you were. Do you actually feel safe on site? Have you been there? You're going, I mean, the culture here is just really bad. We'll just have a bit of a chat about it tomorrow night. Okay? What is your incident response policy within your WHS management plan? So I want you to go in there and have a look. Actually have a read of it. Post this to the forum for the others to have a look at and discuss. And I'm going to go through these tomorrow night. There is a quiz with regards to the guidelines for workplace return to work programs as per that code of practice. And then finally, we've got a return to work program forum. Refer to your return to work program policy and discuss this in your own words. Refer to an experience that you have heard about or seen on site and comment on the injured worker and how you as a PCBU would encourage their returning to work. Done. Any questions? Is everyone happy? Happy days. Can we turn off the recording, Glenno? All right. Adrian, Frank, Pete,